Hello everybody and welcome to another Rise of Kingdoms video. This is Dragothian here, and today we've got a new commander to summon. Fresh off the Mightiest Governor event system, and sure enough we got ourselves 50 sculptures of Constantine. So we placed 4th on the Mightiest Governor event on our kingdom. I believe it went Ronnie, Baddest, and then Vani, I think maybe was the 3rd one, and then Mika was after me, and then so on and so on. But I just wanted to get at least 10 to summon the guy because he's going to be one of my main commanders as we start to build what ultimately will be a full infantry army from start to finish. All 5 armies will be full infantry. So Constantine is going to be a big part of that. He's also going to be a big part of defense going forward from a objective, a pass, city, all of it. He's going to be a really solid defender with having the garrison and support talent trees. Alongside of on the field, he's going to have a really good solid time being an infantry commander as well. So with that being said, I wanted to summon him for you guys just so we can kind of go over his skills a little bit. We'll go over his talents a little bit as well, just to kind of go over what you can do with him. And I think I just gave a little bit of a heads up or a little bit of a spoiler on what really he's good for, but he's that good, guys. You definitely want to get him in your Mightiest Governor event if you have not gotten him already. He's a solid commander, especially if you are an infantry focused governor like myself, but more importantly if you want a really solid defender across the field. So let's go ahead and summon the man. Here he is, one of the best legendaries in the game. Finally, I believe he was announced to be released in February of this year. So we're talking March, April, May, June. We're now in July. This is 5 months in the waiting and the making. And sure enough, finally, right after the Lost Kingdom is over, we got ourselves some sweet, sweet Constantine. And to be honest with you, I mean, this guy would have been an absolute game changer in the Lost Kingdom if we were in a KVK event where it was tight and we needed somebody to really be a solid defender. I think Constantine would have fit the bill perfectly, and to be honest, he could have maybe swung the tides of a battle. If you're currently in your KVK and you got yourself Constantine, I would definitely look to invest your sculptures into him for sure, because you want to be you want to have this guy whenever you can. And we're going to go over a couple reasons why. I'll do a full build out on a mastery series guide for him, but I do want to open him up, which is what I just did, but then also kind of go into what he's going to do for you once we get into that mastery guide. So let's go ahead and put through some of his first skills here. We've got 40 more sculptures to hit his first skill up to 5, which I recommend doing with any legendary you get. You want to get the first skill maxed out. Usually that is one of their best skills, if not their best skill. So I recommend maxing out that first skill before you unlock him going forward to level 10, 20, 30, 40, and all the stars that go along with it. That being said, looks like I'm 10 short. I will use 10 sculptures, universal ones. I've been saving them for him anyway. So I'll go ahead and use those just for the purposes of this video at least. And let's go over the first skill. So Edict of Milan, for the next 5 seconds, which is a decent chunk of time, decreases target's attack by 40%, which is massive, especially when you're talking about nuking damage, so skill damage, and increases troop damage reduction of this commander's army and nearby friendly armies by 10%. This is basically an AoE Sun Tzu, people. This skill is basically an AoE Sun Tzu. So when you're talking about being tanky, this first skill right off the bat reduces damage coming in, both troop and skill damage, and gives an additional 10% damage reduction. This skill makes any army that's led by Constantine or has Constantine in it super tanky, and all the armies around it will get that 10% damage reduction. That is very, very nice. I don't see a limit on how many armies this can hit, so it's probably going to be in an area of effect around the army that has Constantine, vis-a-vis like Joan or something like that. So, and Joan is actually probably a really good commander to pair up with Constantine, to be honest with you, just to give you a heads up. So let's go over to his second skill. It's called Allegiance. It's got a health bonus to infantry units, and it goes upwards of 40%, which is huge. Huge bonus. And with people who have civilizations like France, Rome, even Japan, or what was the other one? There's another one that gives like a plus defense to all units or plus health to all units as well. Any of those people that have those civilizations are going to really benefit by having this health bonus, because this is a stat, health, that isn't really that buffed right now. So anything you can get that buffs it will go a lot farther than, say, buffing attack or buffing defense, in my opinion. So this skill is very critical. In fact, it's going to be one of the next ones I unlock and open up and max out too. I will not be opening up the full thing and just letting things fall where they may. I do have 371 gold sculptures, legendary sculptures to use. And again, I wanted to save them for Constantine specifically, but now that we've also got Edward the Black Prince and Tamiris coming out, I may hold back just in case those guys are just completely overpowered or something to that effect. I may hold back just a little bit. We'll see what happens as we get more information on those commanders, which I will be bringing to you on this channel, of course. So, second skill, it's a passive skill. You don't need to cast it. You always have 40% infantry health bonus once it's maxed. That's really solid, and to be honest with you, I'm not sure where they got the 40% number from, but it's really large. Impasse, so another passive skill, increases the attack of the garrison. So this is a garrison and watchtower talent or skill. Increases the attack bonus of the garrison and the watchtower attack bonus by 10% each. That's really good. Again, pairing this guy up with maybe a YSG or a Saladin or something like that would be very solid in defense. And then Cross of the Divine, another passive skill. When the army led by this commander has been reduced to 50% strength, which this is the one where everybody started getting their eyes really wide and getting excited, the troops will receive a powerful healing effect. Healing factor 7,500 up to 15,000, but then decreases healing effects received by 30%. Increases the reduced skill damage taken by 40%. This effect can trigger a maximum of once per hour after the army has left the city. So you can't just keep re-triggering it like it used to be. That looks like they have a 1 hour timer on it, which is nice, because just chain healing for 15,000 healing factor every time you leave and come back in is kind of a big deal. That being said, so they added in, from the beginning of when he was launched to now, they added in the reduces skill damage taken component, and it's at 40%. So that's pretty significant whenever you look at the first skill as well, reducing the attack damage by 40% as well, or at least reducing the attack by 40% of the army that you're attacking. If that's a rally on your city, you're reducing the attack of the rally by 40% for 5 seconds, and this will trigger, especially if you've got a really good rage regen build with it, this will be effective, I guess, maybe 75 to 80% of the time, at least, maybe even more depending on which commander you pair up with him. In addition, you get this after this healing is done, 50%, you're at 50% strength at this point, but after this healing is done, you get another 40% skill damage taken reduction, which most rallies are going to be either full infantry, or they're going to be some kind of a cav archer situation, or they're going to be a Julius Barca group of some kind as well, which does have some nuke component to it, although not that much. So it really depends on how you're getting rallied, how good the people that are rallying you are. But if they're good and they're rallying you with like a Genghis Mehmed, or a Genghis double C, or a YSG and Mehmed, or YSG, Julius YSG, YSG Julius, that kind of thing, this could be critical. 40% skill damage taken is nothing to sneeze at, and another commander that's got skill damage reduction as well, and that's Saladin. and pairing Saladin up with Constantine is also not a bad idea at all. Okay, let's go to the expertise. A new skill increases troop attack by 15% and defense by 5%. This, again, is going to apply to any troop. It's not just infantry, so this lends itself, again, very well to being a defensive commander or part of a rally. The troop attack 15% is nothing to sneeze at. Certainly as a garrison commander or as a defender of an objective, this helps you even if you've got a mixed troop army inside of that objective. So really, really solid skill, just as good with one type of troop or mixed troop. It's all good, okay? So this commander is kind of like, to me, he's got a lot of things going on for him. First off, he's an infantry commander with support. We don't have one of those yet. All infantry commanders either have the attack or defense tree right now, with the exception of Sun Tzu, which has skill, okay? So infantry with support. I'm not a huge fan of support, but for legendary, there is no skill path type blue tree for talents on infantry commanders. So to me, depending on the situation, Constantine may make us a lot of sense going primary. Now, generally, I think he's going to be best as a secondary commander just because on the field, you're probably going to pair him with, again, with a Richard or with a Charles or an Alexander. Those are probably going to be the big three that you're going to pair him with. So you have the 40% health right here, right? And if you go to Charles, he gives another 20% health, 20% defense, and march speed. If you go to Richard, not Mehmed, Richard, he's got, let's see, damage reduction again by 15%, infantry attack and defense by 15%, and he's got a healing effect enhancement, which would overwrite the fourth skill of Constantine, having that 30% healing reduction taken happen after the big heal. Okay, now before that big heal happens, you'll have this healing effect enhancement boost on top of that, just making it take longer for your opponent to get you to that below 50% threshold. Any army with Richard in it is going to be very, very tanky and very, very solid and very, very hard to take down. So if you combine Richard primary with a Constantine secondary, that's going to be very solid. And then on top of that, if you were to have an Alexander army nearby with, say, a Charles or a Yulji or a Sun Tzu, man, you're starting to stack up the tankiness, the damage, the shields are going all over the place. There's buffs going all over the place. Really, really solid tanky groups. And if like what I'm saying, as soon as I saw Constantine, I thought in my head 5 full armies of infantry marching along the field and having the Constantine buffs hitting all my armies, and having the Joan buffs hit all my armies, and have the Alexander buff with all the shields hitting and helping as my commanders start to get lower. That's my thought process behind a Constantine supported army. So here's what he looks like. Those are the skills. Let's go through the talents really quickly. Again, I'm going to go through a full markup on his mastery guide and show you exactly what I recommend for each situation. There's a garrison build already on my channel that would probably be pretty close to what I would use. However, having the support tree versus the defense tree will be a little bit different. So he will have his own unique garrison talent build. With the infantry build, again, I would probably go full infantry here with support going to rejuvenate, and then also down to emergency protection as much as possible at least. But he's got something that no other commander has, which makes him special. That's why I really, really like Constantine. Anytime you can get a more diverse commander in the game that no other commander can mimic, not even just the skills, but the talents, that's where you're going to really start to see some folks shine, and you can really start to customize how you want to play, which is nice. I could go full infantry here with my infantry skin that I got from the summer event, and be really, really tanky, really, really solid from a buffing perspective and debuffing perspective. And then also on top of that, have really solid shields, really solid damage with the 10% skin from the attack, as well as Alexander helping with some damage as well. So I really think that pairing some of these guys up, even with some non-infantry commanders, is going to make a lot of sense. A lot of sense. Okay, I think that's about it, guys. I really just wanted to show you guys him getting summoned. I've got his first skill maxed out again. My next live stream, I'll probably maybe put some more sculptures into his second skill as well. We'll also start talking about pairing up Alexander, which is right here as well, with Constantine and with Richard and Charles, and we'll start going through all the theory crafting that goes along with having 5 full armies of infantry, which I can do now with having this many infantry commanders on the battlefield. This is Dragothian signing out. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have not already, please hit the subscribe button. It really helps me out, and I look forward to seeing those numbers continue to grow as we can grow the community on this channel. I'm going to go ahead and sign out now. Cheers. Have a good one. Take care, and I will see y'all next time. Have fun conquering your world. See ya.